Hey, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Anthony? Thank you for taking time out of your day to speak to me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you for wanting to speak to me.
No, it's awesome. I couldn't pass up the opportunity, man.
How are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really well. Yeah, just a little bit jet lagged in New York City, but having a lovely time. We had the premiere 2 nights ago, and it went really well. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, HBO actually sent me over the entire series. I haven't watched all of it, but I watched a few episodes just to be prepped and have a nice conversation going with you.
Yeah.
So yes,
What did you think?
I'm loving it so far. What actually had me interested in the series at first, because I wasn't familiar with the novel. You guys were filming in Botany Village in Clifton, and that's literally around the corner from my house. So I saw signage around
Wow.
I saw signage around my area because they were closing down the streets for filming. So I decided to visit the set those 2 days you guys were here and watch you guys film.
Oh, really? That's so cool. What scenes did you watch? Can you remember?
Yeah. Actually, you guys shot a couple scenes. I think it was I forgot her name, but she plays your aunt in the series.
Winona or Zoe?
Well, you have Winona wasn't there that day, but it was the other one.
Zoe Kazan. The other
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, she shot one scene when she was walking down Botany Village on Parker Avenue. And then there was another scene where you were arriving in and out of the deli from episode 2.
Oh wow, that would have been my second day of filming. That's so cool.
Yeah, I was there watching. I was there for I would say 5 hours maybe, just standing around, taking pictures, watching you guys
so boring,
film.
Right?
No, it's not. It's actually fun watching the process.
It takes so long to do things.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I noticed it takes a little longer to when you watch the series and the final product, it seems so fluent. It just flows all together. But seeing it in real time, it takes a while to just get one scene done. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I brought my brother on set, and he said he's never been more bored in his entire life.
Yeah, that was my first time ever seeing anything filmed right there in person in my face. It was fun. So it was a fun experience for me.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're enjoying it, dude. I'm glad you're liking it so far. It gets better, I think. It gets darker as the series progresses and he dives more into the sort of the life of them all.
Yeah. So for those unfamiliar with you, what can you tell me about yourself? How did you get your start? How did you get into the business?
Yeah, so I sort of I just started like most people, just I really wanted to be an actor, and then I went to drama school and then left school and done some theatre, and then from theatre I ended up I was doing a play on Broadway, and then a casting director saw me and cast me in this show. So that's how I got involved in this.
Okay. So you're speaking about the Harry Potter play that you were doing, right?
Yes. So I was in drama school, and then I was cast in that role, and I had to leave 8 months early, and had to go and do that on the West End, and then it transferred to America, and we done it on Broadway for a year and a half. And then at the end of it, I had 3 days off, and then started Plot Against America, and I went from sort of Hogwarts to downtown Newark. So week quick to Hogwarts. It was quite a shift, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, so what else did you guys film in Jersey? I know you guys filmed in Clifton. You guys filmed in my hometown of Paterson, right behind City Hall.
Yeah, man, I love Paterson. I like that place a lot.
Oh, yeah, you do?
Yeah, man. I love New Jersey, man. I really I found it was a little home away from home. It ended up being an extra character in the piece. It's got so much flavor to it. It's got such a unique character, man.
Yeah, I was watching
I'd never been.
It was your first time?
Yeah, it was my first time filming there, and I was just getting to know the place and speak to the locals, and it had such a different energy than to New York City,
Yeah, we're so similar in terms of style and lifestyle, living a little fast paced, but very distinct cultures in the same breath. It's very different from what you see in New York opposed to what you see here. But yeah, that was I actually recognized. I didn't catch you guys filming in Paterson, but I knew you guys were filming there. I see you guys shot a lot of the show, the first 2 episodes at least. A lot of it was shot in Paterson, instantly recognizable, at least to me.
It was close to you.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you in a park, and it's like a million children have just run in.
No, it's fine.
Trying to go somewhere a little quieter.
No, I was. Yeah, because I was watching a couple of the episodes, the first 2 episodes, and I saw you guys like filming on Ellison Street, right behind City Hall.
Yeah.
So I was like instantly, it just stood out to me right away. Even with all the set pieces up, I recognized it right away.
Yeah, man, it was crazy when we like completely we took over a few blocks just outside the City Hall, and we were shooting there. It was incredible. I had such a good time there.
That's awesome. Glad you had a good time in Paterson, man. It doesn't have the best reputation, to be completely honest with you. But no, it really doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't have a good reputation because of the way the living, the way the living space is, the way the city is ran by the government. The politicians. There's a lot of stuff that has to do with what you guys are dealing with in the show. So it's ironic.
Yeah.
But But I know you also worked on Game of Thrones for a little bit. How was that? I know it was a small little stint, but it's a big franchise. So how was that?
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was my first TV job, so I was like, I was in my first week of acting school, and then I left, flew over to do it, and it was cool, man. But I'm like, I get asked about this all the time, and it's like, if you blink, you miss me. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, could you play one of the Bolton guards?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm like, I sort of, it's spectacular. It's some of the worst acting I think that HBO have ever produced is me in Game of Thrones. It's terrible. It's so terrible. And people ask me about it all the time. Yeah, it's like 15 seconds. The lovely Gemma Whelan slits my throat. Yeah, she was amazing as well because I only had like 2 lines. And it was my first job, and I think she could tell that I was quite nervous. And she kept asking me, did I want to run the line? And I was like, oh yeah, cool, this must be what actors do. And now when I look back on it, I'm like, wow, she really took care of me on that job. It's a small act of kindness that I'll never forget.
No, that's awesome, man. It's always good to come in fresh and get treated the right way. It inspires, or it can. Internally defeat you depending on the experience. So
yeah, for sure, 100%, man. Yeah, I agree with that.
So let's talk more about your character on The Plot Against America. You play Alvin Levin, the nephew to Herman Levin. So what are some of the biggest plights and some of the issues that he's dealing with, not just in the first 2 episodes, but in the season as a whole?
So I think, for me anyway, I think Alvin's one of the most honest characters. I think he works his hard on his sleeve, and if the things he has to deal with, it's like both his parents died very young. He's orphaned, and then he's in this house, and he's not yet a man with a proper job and a family, but he's not by any means a boy. So he's in this sort of teething period, and he has this, this very, antagonistic relationship with Herman, his father's brother, who becomes his ward. And I think there's a lot of, it's a lot of that sort of Freudian destroy the father shit going on. I think he doesn't like Morgan's character all that much. And he's just, I think he's in a very strange time when, fascism is rising, and he can see so many people around him sort of just letting it happen. And I think he says, enough of this, I'm going to take a stand.
Yeah, that's the vibe of our guy. He's I want to stand up for what's right, and I want to do. If no one's going to put up the fight, then I'll be the leading man and make sure things are taken care of. That also brings a little clash in between Herman and Alvin. So how does that progress, and how does that even change at some point, especially with the decision that's made at the end of episode 2, which I won't spoil, obviously, because spoilers for everybody. But how does that even that decision, how does that affect that dynamic between Herman and Alvin?
Yeah, I mean, as you get further on in the series, when it's episode 4, whatever, and when Herman comes to visit Alvin in the hospital, there's a moment where they sit and they don't speak. Herman speaks to him about his father, and about your father could take the biggest punches and still get up and keep going. And I think Alvin sees that as a real fuck you. How dare you sort of speak his name? And I think that their relationship, I don't want to spoil it for you because there's obviously stuff that happens at the end between them. But I think for me that was one of the most interesting relationships to sort of delve into. What was going on between Alvin and Herman. I thought there was just so much to play there. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seems like they have it seems like they connect. This is the vibe I got. It seems like a little like it's tough love, especially from Herman's perspective. Yeah. And Alvin just seems to wants to be understood. He wants to this. So I'm trying here. Yeah. I want to be understood, understand where I'm coming from, and then that's where you guys kind of clash all the time. But there's still some type of love there. Like, listen, we're still family at the end of the day, despite what disagreements or arguments we have, we're still family. And obviously there's one moment in I believe it's in episode 1 where he tells that to the younger kids, to his sons,
yes.
I shouldn't, Alvin is still family. I kind of lost my temper. That's, at the end of the day, we're still family. It's all coming from a good place because we want the best for each other.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with that.
So, and also that even goes back to one of the questions I had. You kind of answered it a little bit, just in passing. But in terms of Alvin fighting back, he does have that little scuffle at the end of episode 1. I won't spoil as to why the scuffle happens, but that sort of ignites the fire to fight back against the system.
Yes, definitely. I think he is a fighter. I think some people are just genetically made up to it's fight or flight, and I think Alvin is definitely fight. I think that's his genetic makeup. Why does he go to war? Why does he do this? I think that's who he is. There's no greater reason. It's just sometimes that's who we are.
Yeah.
But he's definitely a fighter.
Yeah, definitely. Does he? Obviously, you mentioned about his parents, but does the show even show how much of Alvin being an orphan affect him now as an adult, or even before or after joining the fight or starting the fight? Or
I think it's this thing. I think it's like the Jesuits say, show us the boy for the first 8 years, and we'll show you the man. It's like, he. I think his formative years, losing his parents, definitely would have affected him, and I think definitely made him maybe become even more of a fighter.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I know it's like he has like a little rebel in him, so I can understand where, and I can kind of relate to a degree. Like, my parents aren't deceased. I still have them, but you don't, even if you have your parents there, you don't grow up with that sense of love and care from your respective parents. That kind of builds a certain type of character within the person and affects them, obviously, in the long run, even into adulthood, and who they become as a person, whether it be a man or a female. It affects them both equally the same. So what do you feel, or at least in what way do you feel, that this series, seeing that is attacking the themes of fascism, bigotry, racism against Jews and stuff like that, seeing how that's prominent in today's world, especially in America, how do you think people...
Sorry?
No, how do you think people can learn, or how can the show educate people to kind of deal with those themes that are implemented into the show?
Well, I think that Ross in his book used the allegories he could of the stuff that was going on in his time, and in his framework he used the Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
I pardon. I think that Ross used the Jewish people, but right now in America, you could take out Jews, and it could be about the black community or Muslims.
Well, yeah. I didn't mean like the Jewish people in today's world, but I'm just like in America against just people in.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's people who are being sort of systematically fucked, really. And Roth used the vision of the Jewish people, but right now, I mean, like, people are trying to put travel bans on Muslims, and it's like it's insane. It's fascism, and it's if it's not sort of stubbed out at the root, it can grow and fester. And I think in America, you're seeing some of that now. And I don't want to claim that I'm an expert, as I'm just a visitor.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, having not grown up in America, coming in with fresh eyes, it can be a pretty scary place. Even seeing some of the stuff about schools are being built with curved corridors, so that if a school shooter breaks in, the kill count is a lot less. It's just like it doesn't seem like America is trying to tackle the roots of the problem. It seems like it's just cutting off branches.
Yeah. So one of the last questions I have, we answered almost everything, honestly, in such little time, which is great. But so your aunt Evelyn, I know you're running short on time, but it's fine. So this is the last question. So your aunt Evelyn, right, who's played by Winona Ryder, obviously she becomes involved with Lionel, who's essentially the right hand man of Lindbergh. So how does that involvement, being that it's so close to home, affect essentially the entire family? Because not just affecting just Herman and maybe the relationship with Herman and your character Alvin and his wife, but it literally affects everyone in that surrounding home.
Yeah, I think that relationship affects everyone, but particularly I think it affects Alvin a great deal, because it just feels like such a betrayal. It feels like a real, he's being the mouthpiece for these people that are shaking Goebel's hands. I think that the relationship between Evelyn and Lionel, really gets to Alvin, and you can see that in, I think, episode 2, just how much hate that Alvin harbors for the man. I think he sees him as a sellout, selling his own people down the river. And I think, I was kind of raging that I actually didn't have any scenes with him, because I'm such a fan of John Turturro, and I think putting Alvin and Bengelsdorf in a room together would have been great. I mean, it wouldn't have worked, because they would never be in a room together, but it could be fun. Alvin's not going to be at the fucking White House, and Bengelsdorf isn't going to be in England cleaning a fucking rifle, but that could have been a cool scene,
No, yeah, definitely would have been a good scene to see, honestly. I would have loved to see it. Obviously, it doesn't fit the story like you're just saying, but why they would be in the same room together. But I do feel like it would have been a nice scene between you and John Turturro. So, but yeah, man, that's essentially all I really got for you today, man. I want to thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you so much, Rose. Honestly, a pleasure speaking to you.
No, it was a pleasure as well, man. You guys are killing it in the show. I'm only 2 episodes in, but you guys are doing a tremendous job. It's written so well.
Thank you.
The performances you guys are delivering are just like I said, the chemistry between you and Herman, Alvin and Herman on screen is just amazing. You really feel the tension when you guys are clashing, and it's just awesome. I can't wait to finish it. I know people are waiting until March 16th to watch it, but I'll be finishing it soon.
That's so kind, man. Honestly, because not many people have seen it. So, when you hearing those things really means a great deal. I mean that. Thank you.
No problem, man. You guys are awesome. You guys are killing it. It's a great cast all around. So I want to thank you again for taking time out of your day for speaking with me.
No problem, bro. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. You have yourself a good day, man. Thank you too, Alyssa. Thank you.